In the busy city of Portville lived Marina, a 29-year-old woman, single, independent, and working in the administrative department of a multinational company. With a stable position and a good salary, her life had everything to be peaceful. But the reality was very different. From the moment she woke up until the time she went to sleep, Marina lived in constant rush, putting out fires that weren't hers. Always available to everyone, she ended up completely neglecting her own needs. Almost every day, she would get a message from her older sister who was divorced, asking her to take care of her niece at night while she attended classes or worked extra hours. No matter how exhausted she was, Marina never said no. Her parents, although loving, also depended too much on her. During her work breaks, she could barely rest. There was always a bill to pay, a document to handle, or some errand around the city done out of their convenience. At night, all Marina wanted was to relax, but her apartment, being the only one in the group where she lived alone, was always full of friends for dinners and improvised gatherings. Marina was afraid of seeming selfish by saying no, so she accepted everything with a tired smile, even though she felt her energy draining away. At work, it wasn't any different. Colleagues would ask for help with reports, tasks that weren't even hers, or wanted her to attend unnecessary meetings, and she accepted, believing it was part of being a good professional. Over time, Marina began to feel a huge weight on her shoulders. Every new request felt like another stone. It wasn't emptiness she felt. It was constant overload, a tiredness that not even long nights of sleep could cure, until one seemingly ordinary afternoon. Some computers from the accounting department were sent for maintenance, and a few employees from that team started working temporarily with the administrative staff. That was the day when Marcelo, Marina's colleague, came over smiling with an unexpected request. "Marina, can I borrow your credit card? My TV burned out and I found a great deal. I can't miss it." Marina stayed silent for a few seconds. It was clear she didn't want to lend it, but she just couldn't say no. With a forced smile, she replied, "Sure, send me the link and I'll buy it for you." Marcelo smiled even more and added, "You can split it into 12 payments, okay? It'll be easier for me." Marina took a deep breath and simply said, "Okay." He walked away satisfied, and Marina, visibly downcast, lowered her eyes to the keyboard. Vanessa, a colleague from the accounting department who was working beside her that day, watched in silence. Curious, she asked in a low voice, "Marina, sorry to ask, does he usually pay on time?" Marina replied with a tired look. "Some months, yes, others no. Sometimes he's 2 months late, then pays it all." Vanessa slowly shook her head, thoughtful. Then she looked firmly at Marina and said something she would never forget. "But why do you keep lending it to him? When he sends you the link, don't buy it. Say you checked your limit and it's low, that it might be needed for an emergency." Marina, embarrassed, murmured, "But he knows I have cards with high limits. He'll know it's just an excuse." Vanessa gave a slight smile and calmly replied, "Then make something up. Say you'll need to use it. And if your friendship ends because of this, it will be the best thing that ever happened to you." Real. Friends don't walk away over a no. While you keep saying yes, everyone loves you. But say no just once and suddenly you're the villain, and no one deserves that. Marina stayed quiet, absorbing every word, while Vanessa calmly finished. "You know, Marina, some time ago I heard a phrase that changed my life. Every time I say yes when I want to say no, I'm saying no to myself." At first, it was hard to understand. But when I realized I was putting everyone else first and never myself, I decided to change. I learned to say no, even to my parents. Marina looked up, surprised. "Your parents?" Vanessa nodded, a calm glow in her eyes. "Yes, and believe me, our relationship improved 1,000%. At first it's hard, because we grow up thinking we need to please people to be loved. But self-love is the greatest form of respect there is. When you respect yourself, you teach others to do the same. The people who truly love you will understand your limits and value your space even more. It's not selfishness, it's emotional survival. Vanessa gently touched Marina's shoulder and concluded, "It's time for you to stop being available to the whole world and start being available to yourself." Marina felt her heart race. It was like a forgotten truth had just awakened. She took a deep breath, got up from the desk and went to the bathroom. Staring at the mirror, she thought, "I need to say no to Marcelo." But how? Just imagining it made her stomach turn. But Vanessa's phrase echoed, "If I say yes, I'll be saying no to myself." She took another deep breath, went back to her desk, and with a firm voice said, "Marcelo, I thought about it. I won't be able to buy the TV. I need to keep my limit available for something I planned. I hope you understand." Marcelo looked surprised, even a bit annoyed. He answered with a weak smile, Okay. But Marina felt instant relief, as if a weight had been lifted from her chest. She didn't know it yet, but that no would change everything. The afternoon passed lightly. For the first time in a long while, Marina smiled from within. The afternoon passed lightly. For the first time in a long while, Marina smiled from within. She felt proud of herself in a way she hadn't in years. She went back to her desk, looked at Vanessa with a gleam in her eyes, and said quietly, almost laughing, "I did it. I said no." Vanessa gave a big smile, gently tapped Marina's hand and replied, "Congratulations. That was just the first, but look how much it already changed." The two laughed quietly. Marina, moved, said, "Truly, thank you for every word. I needed to hear all of that." And without realizing it, at that very moment, a true friendship was born, one of those that begins with a "you understood me when no one else did." In the following days, Marina felt more and more confident and determined. She realized she needed to set clear boundaries. One night, she sat down at home and made an honest and detailed list of things she would no longer accept in her life. Everything that took away her peace, drained her energy, or was done out of obligation would now receive a kind but firm no. She started at the office. She stopped accepting tasks that weren't hers, declined unnecessary meetings, and clearly set her limits. And she noticed her performance at work improved significantly, precisely because she was no longer overwhelmed. The dinners at her place also started to decrease. Marina began telling her friends she needed to rest. Some drifted away, but the ones who stayed, they were the real ones. The next challenge was even harder. Her family. One day she sat down with her parents and explained with all the love and care, "Dad, Mom, you're still young, full of energy, and perfectly capable of handling these things yourselves. My work break is too short to take care of everything you need. I'm going to teach you how to pay bills online. It's very simple." With patience and affection, Marina showed them how to do those simple tasks that had once been a huge burden for her. Surprisingly, her parents learned quickly. They even liked their newfound independence. And suddenly, even their relationship with Marina became lighter and happier. With her older sister, Marina had an honest and direct conversation. "I love taking care of my niece, you know that. But I need time to rest, too. I can take care of her once a week, okay?" Her sister completely understood, reorganized her schedule, and without even realizing it, became more independent and responsible. Their relationship improved immensely, becoming healthier and more honest. Everyone learned to manage on their own. Marina's entire life changed radically after that first no. The weight that once crushed her chest disappeared. She started sleeping better, smiling more, and truly feeling happy and fulfilled. The emotional overload she once carried was replaced by positive, renewed energy, capable of transforming every part of her life. Marina finally realized a powerful truth. By no longer being available for everyone, she became available for what mattered most, herself. Learning to say no is not selfishness. It is the greatest act of love you can offer yourself. Every time you set clear boundaries, you show the world how you wish to be treated. And believe me, that changes everything. When you stop being available to the world all the time, you finally become available for your dreams, your happiness, and your well-being. Prioritizing yourself doesn't push away those who truly matter. On the contrary, it strengthens your bonds and filters out those who never truly valued you. Always remember, you deserve peace, you deserve respect, and above all, you deserve to be your own priority. Starting today, choose you. Choose your time, your energy, your life. Because only when you say no to what doesn't serve you, are you truly saying the biggest yes to yourself. And if this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Here, you'll always find stories that warm the soul and awaken truths that were asleep inside. See you in the next video.